I'm doing exactly the same thing that I ran away from. Darkies were like that, and most people, they say Ike Khumalo hates black people, he worships apartheid. I like everything that is good, because I can tell you, Afrikaners, they were efficient in managing this country. Even though they were our enemies back in the days, they catered for us. Imagine someone who's been declared, which is a criminal, is a war criminal, because they said apartheid was declared as a inhuman against, the people, or is a crime against humanity. But the very same people, he makes sure that you eat, he makes sure that you are employed, he makes sure that you've got accommodation, he makes sure that he covers you in all the recreational spaces, bicycle, karate. We had those people. We produced Bombire Makeba, Boletambulu, cinemas. We had cinemas even in town. Imagine that person. And this person, he makes sure that you've got Abo, Chemdo, Ambach. You study for free. You come out there, you're a boiler maker. You come out there, you're an artisan. He gives you money to train. And this person is supposed to be your enemy. This person makes sure that every Thursday he comes to Soweto, the township, he opens up the drainage system so that water doesn't stick there and there's no flooding. And then everything runs smoothly. There's water on your tap. He makes sure that he puts electricity. I know people saying there was no electricity in Shoba Shoba. Now you're managed, dog, by your own black people. You're oppressed by your own Mudike, Ramudike, Mpepu. You cannot call us and say apartheid did nothing for me in the rural areas. You were managed by your own black people who failed you. I'm talking about people who were directly affected by apartheid, people of Alexander, Tembisa, Soweto, Val Triangle, Soshanguve, all those people who were managed by apartheid. All else must go claim to Mangope. From Mangope, must claim for Mumangosutu. Us, we're catered for. That's why we produce Bo Sydney Mare, Bo Kalamazoo, we produce Bo Felicia Mabuza, Bo Baby Jake, Bo Arthur Maisela, we produce Bo Brenda Fassi. Go to all those places, Bo Crossroad, under apartheid. You look into areas as far as Ngonyamatas, Midland. What did they produce? And these people are supposed to be our enemies. According to the ANC, sitting in Lusaka, Oliver Tambo is sitting in London, secured by the imperialists of the biggest biblical proportion, like the Queen of England. He's sitting there comfortably, looting donor money, moving from one country to the other, saying we are fighting, donate. Hey, the sponsor says, where are you fighting? Then they send one guy, they say, go and plant the bomb there. And then it's suited them. You must be arrested so that it can capture the news. Because if you planted the bomb and the news is not broadcasted, nobody sees that. You must be arrested. And then they come take the newspaper clip and go to donors and say, we are fighting. And when they came back here, look at the comrades. If you love people, you're not govern the way ANC is governing. And all of these guys in parliament, all of them, they are the same. DA is the same as ANC, EFF, PA, Bomashaba, they are all the same. That's why I'm saying we need another commission, not a commission, another process where we tell all, we start all over again. We tell everything. And I wonder what will happen after that, because it has, been proven that even after revolution, the elites, they always come up again. Or the new elites, they always come up. It's very few countries where you can see with at least there's a bit of democracy, like in Scandinavian countries, where you don't know the minister, there's no blue lights, where you'll be inside parliament and then you'll be told, are you aware what is the parliament? Where you don't know the president. You go to people in Finland, they don't know who's the president. Denmark, some of the countries in Europe, people don't know who's the president. You go to Switzerland, people don't know who's the president. Who's the president of Belgium? But everybody in the world knows Ramaphosa. Even people in the most awkward, icy mountains. I'm sure even in Cambodia, in Himalaya, people know Ramaphosa. There are some guys, their people are well looked after. We don't even know, who's governing them. I think they should use this as a test. When we don't know the minister, we don't know the president, it means that the country has been well looked after. Once you start knowing who's the president, hey, there's a problem. Yes, there will be exceptions, like the global powers, both China, both Vladimir, both Trump. But now we are in that, yeah,
so
cycle.
You're not a fan of the ad hoc committee. I mean, our politicians are famous because they don't do good things.
The ad hoc committee, I feel, Uguti, we are being played. We are being told what we need to be told. Don't give them more than enough. People are going there with a script. Uguti, this is my faction. The ad hoc committee is factionalized. People are going there to say, I'm going to tell them this, I'm not going to tell them that. It's not a tell-all. Like, I'll make a reference again, Umkonas, when he said, I've got debt on all of you. I'm waiting for that debt because I'm interested to know. Magata, all of you. Don't think that if your messages are deleted on WhatsApp, we can recover them, the intelligence. I want to know what Malema has been doing since 2014. And before that, I want to know what Zuma has been doing since 1994, Thabo Mbeki. If you've got that information, why not release it? Why are we being fed like we are children? Tell us all. Our intelligence, they are sitting on information. They interview a person with intelligence, like Bonabo Arthur Fraser. They will tell you, hey, there is more. When is this more going to come? It's like Jacob Zuma saying, I will tell. You're teasing us. I need to know what this guy did 1, 2, 3. Therefore, I should not work with him. But if you keep on saying, you know what, this guy is like you. If you are my friend, you see my wife, my life partner, cheating with other guys, you don't tell me. You come to me, you say, hey, if I can tell you, my brother, if I can tell you, your house will never be the same. You are torturing me worse. Because you keep on saying, hey, I saw your wife. Which way? Hey, man, in Northwest. Hey, if I can tell you, my right is just leave it. That's what these guys are doing. And you tell me more than, not even more than enough. Just enough for you to be put in a good position. So that's the problem that I have. I guess some of them will never tell on themselves. So they say, look, like in the, what's this, AA, where they have alcoholics and say, hi, my name is Ike, I'm an alcoholic, I use drugs, and, they're not going to tell on themselves. Because most of them, none of them coming and saying, this is my part. Like in a relationship, you go for a counseling. Like me, I've had many relationships. I know my flaws. That's why sometimes when I tell my exes, which you don't need to lie on my behalf. I'm bad enough. And then I admit where I'm wrong. You don't have to lie on my behalf. Even when you put us here, I'll tell you, this is my contribution, which was negative. But these guys, do they tell on themselves? Even Peggy Tele, none of them go in there and say, listen guys, Spear did this and this, but here, I also contributed.